In this video, I'm going to show you why sometimes it's easier to shade with a smaller mag instead of a bigger one. So when you are shading, say, a piece like this, right, this flames, it's got like the little squiggly, kind of tiny little nooks and crannies, right? If we're shading it with a big mag, I'm using a critical torque 5mm stroke. We're blasting through it quite quick, right? And we're going to get like the bulk of it done relatively fast. But where we're going to run into trouble is where we have to kind of go back and hit these little small bits that we sort of miss. Now, if we kind of do that with this 23 curved mag, you can do it. And, you know, as you kind of get more confident with tattooing, you'll start using bigger and bigger mags for smaller and smaller tattoos. But it can cost you quite a bit of time and also increases the risk that you're going to make a mistake, especially if you're just starting out, right? So instead of having to maneuver the mag to hit all those tight little spots, what you can do instead is just use a smaller needle. It's going to allow you to kind of fit through those smaller parts much easier, and it's going to actually allow you to go faster because you don't have to go back through stuff and fix it. So right now I'm using a 12 gauge 9 curved mag instead of a 23, and because again this needle is so much smaller, it's very easy to maneuver around this shape. Take a look. If I miss any spots, I don't have to kind of have this big sort of clunky needle that I'm trying to maneuver around. It's very easy to get into those tighter, smaller spots. It does help that I'm using a 5mm stroke machine too. That actually makes it extremely easy to pack color when you combine that with good technique. Especially the torques as well. They do hit quite a bit harder than the bishops I've found. Bishops are still great, but for doing like large amounts of solid color, I prefer the criticals. Anytime where I've got like a gap between the lines and the color, just use the corners of the mag, just do a nice little straight pass over it, fills it in really nice. Remember as well, if you do go over any parts that you have packed, you want to make sure that you cross hatch it and that you're moving the machine in a different direction so that the needles are hitting different spots in the skin, that's not hacking it up. Cool, so you can see we've got that super solid there. So yeah, when you are doing like a real intricate kind of piece that involves you having to like maneuver and kind of fill in lots of little small spaces here and there, it can be faster and more efficient to swap to a smaller mag. Bigger mags definitely have their place, like if you're doing, you know, larger scale work that has like, you know, large gradients or large areas of solid fills, definitely want to use a bigger mag for that. But for intricate kind of pieces that have lots of tiny little spaces here and there to fill, small mag, and sometimes even a round shader, can work really well to hit those tiny spots without feeling like you're, you know, trying to use a chisel when you should be using a scalpel. Anyway, if you like tattooing tips and tricks and tutorials like this, follow our page. We're dropping new content every single week.